Hope everyone's doing well. Nicole Ben Simon here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about inner child work. I guess if you've never heard of the term inner child, I may as well explain it, that we all have a child that's inside of us, that even though we may be an adult, we may be in our 40s, 50s, but there is always a 5-year-old self that's living inside of our body that actually wants to connect with us and wants us to be happy and make the best choices in our life. And often often we don't know that we have an inner child in us because we're not taught that there is, an innocent little being inside of us that's suffering when we're not on our true path. So that is the inner child. And I guess the best way to really connect with your inner child, and the first time that I did was I was asked to close my eyes, and I was sort of guided into imagining myself at the age of 5. So even if it's like just a mental picture or a photo that you have of yourself as a child, and I just have this photo of me in this pretty little dress with long hair, and it's a mental image of me at the age of around 5. It could be 4, it could be 6, so around that age. And it's almost like a mark of your innocent being. It's like who you are in essence. And so connecting with that inner child is a very powerful realization that that inside of you there is a guidance system that wants you to be well, wants you to be happy, wants you to be aligned, wants you to be in your truth, wants you to have good connections with people. And it's that inner child that is trying to communicate with you. And if this is the first time you've heard the term inner child, you could Google it, because there are a lot of studies, scientific studies that have been made about inner child work. And when you're starting to work on yourself, one of the most important processes is connecting with your inner child. So basically it's just, sitting in a quiet space, closing your eyes, imagining a photo of yourself or an image of yourself at the age of around 5, and connecting with it, just reaching out to it and just saying, I'm here. I know that there is a voice inside of me that is guiding and directing me and loving me. And I also know that if I am going along the wrong path for myself, then inner child will tap me on the shoulder and try and get my attention. And usually that doesn't work with most people. And that will be like a little sudden something that would happen in your life that will give you a little inkling that you're not on the right path. And usually you ignore it because it's just a little tap. But the thing is that over time, that tap becomes a hit, and that hit becomes a punch or a nudge, and then it gets stronger and stronger until it gets your attention. So a lot of people once they've done the work, they go back and they remember that there was like a little inkling of something in their life which was pushing them away from the path that they were taking because it wasn't the right path for them. And it could be even an illness that just became worse and worse and worse and worse. And it could be, with a ballerina that she, that maybe that path is not the right, like she's got something else to be doing with her life. And so, it would be something like an injury or something that would just pull you away from your comfort zone to wake you up. So, I feel as though your inner child is really your internal compass, which is guided specifically to you and your needs. And so it's very easy to ignore the inner child because we have so many external factors that are going on in our life, that people are telling us what we should be doing, you know, our parents, our partners, our children, work, and so often the inner child is ignored, and your true compass, as much as it's screaming out to get your attention, often fails to get your attention until something profound happens. And it could be the loss of a job, it could be a loss of financial income, something to wake you up and bring you back to the ground zero so that you can start up again. So inner child work is actually extremely important if you're wanting to do some inner work on yourself. I know that Louise Hay does some incredible inner child work. You can Google some of her YouTube videos. So does, there are quite a few. But anyway, you can Google inner child and do some of the exercises. And I guess, you know, a lot of people, when they start on this journey, they write a letter. Just write a letter to your inner child. And it's like writing a letter to your young self. And connecting with that. A lot of positive inner child work is also being childlike. It's just like, you know, we start off as a child where we're just happy, and we're just innocent, and we play, and there's no grudges, and you know, and then suddenly we become an adult, and then we start taking life really seriously, and then we sometimes forget to have fun. And we feel like having fun is a waste of time, but actually connecting with your inner child. Like for me, it's dancing. When I dance, I'm like a child. I'm just like, I just lose myself, and I love dancing, and I love Latin dancing. But, you know, for someone it might be running, or it could be riding a bike, you know, just those things that make you feel free and alive, that take you away from all your daily troubles. So connecting with your inner child can also bring out this childlike self of yours, which is there, which is often suppressed as we grow up. Spending time with children and watching how they see the world, and how they're in awe of a bird that just parks itself near them, and the way that they look at everything with such fresh eyes. So even being with children brings you back to your inner child. So that's a little bit about inner child work. It's a very essential tool if you are wanting to dig deep into yourself and into your truth. It's very essential that you tap into your inner child and connect with it, and find a common language, a conversation, so that you can tap into that inner child on a daily, on a weekly basis, and just see that you are in full alignment and in unison with your soul's path and your journey. And your inner child will be like your intuition. It is your intuition. So when you have this gut feeling that, you know, that perhaps you shouldn't sign a deal, or you shouldn't really get close to somebody and open up to somebody, that's your inner child giving you a nudge and saying, nah, this isn't for you. If you're open and willing to be connected with it, and the more you use it, just like a muscle, the more you will find a common language where you can start trusting that what comes from your inner child, what comes from your gut, your intuition, is actually perfect information for you at the time. So see if you can do some inner child exercises, because it's really getting to know yourself in full essence of who you are, and sort of like stripping away all of those years of conditioning and external influences, and it's going back into the center of that onion, you know, the center of the onion before all of the, once you've unpeeled all the layers, it's getting into that little part of you, which is your essence and your truth. So hope that helps you a little bit with trying to understand the different elements of the self, and connect with your true inner being. So I hope you are all well, staying safe and staying sane, and have a lovely day.